Welcome to Clark's Place.
Welcome to Clark's Place. I always forget to say it.
Do you?
Yeah. You always say it though. That's nice.
Today,
this is our Charger RT paint schedule. I've looked for one of these online and just to get an idea of how to paint a car with stripes, with graphics, and the process that you go through in order to do it.
the back tape and what do you do first,
And that has kind of kept me from just pulling the trigger. I know Pops wanted this car painted 20 years ago.
probably.
But I have an idea of what I want, and we'll talk through and just go through my entire list of what we think we need to do. And there'll be a lot of knee-jerk reactions that happen like on the day. If a bug gets in it, we got to do this. We've got enough experience between the two of us to know how to handle those situations. But what do you do? What do you do first? How do you address this? How do you do that? So, and timing of everything with the Nissan brand paints that we've bought, which I may throw some flashes up of the actual pictures of what we've got over there. We're using Nissan everything, so it's not chroma.
Yeah, it's a
base,
2K paint, base coat, clear coat. And of course, we've got striping to do because it's a Charger RT, and it has the bumblebee stripe across the back. And he's also going to put some 440
little call out
on the hood because it's a 440.
It's got a V21 hood treatment, which from the factory, I think they sprayed those all. There was no vinyl sticker that I could buy.
Where it goes and flares out on the hood, kind of like a rally hood.
The scallops are both white on this car. So I guess we can jump right into it.
And what we did is we sat here, we've been brainstorming for an hour or two, the steps, because we've painted a few cars. We watched a lot of videos. You know, there's graveyard cars. There's how the wheel guy there does things and just tips, and that we've learned and made mistakes doing. So we've tried to address all those. That's why it's all cut up and taped, because instead of a new paper, we just
I started one thing and then it's like, oh man, we have a whole other step we need to do before that. So
this may help a bunch of people for your.
This is my personal paint schedule that I'm going to go through and try to follow this exactly as we wrote it. Right now, the fenders and doors are on it kind of temporarily. But the first thing is to remove the fenders and doors. I've got blowout, prep saw, clean everything twice. Then we're going to 400 sand everything. It's in primer right now. The lady at the paint store, her list to me was primer, you do everything 223, 2400, and then you're ready to seal. So that's kind of the first step, is to get everything 400 sanded, the fenders and doors off the car. The second day is to go through all of my boxes, gather all of my parts, just go through everything, because I'm gonna find something that's like, oh crap, that needs to be painted red.
Yeah, there's the little surrounds that go on the back marker lights. Those got to be red. I mean,
they're gonna go white, actually.
Well, white.
But
the balances, things like that
well.
you get done and think, oh my gosh, that goes on the car. That was supposed to be painted.
And the reason we're stressing that is I'm going to go through every one of my boxes is I haven't seen that stuff in 2 years since I tore the car apart. So there's something in there I'm certain that we're going to find. So go through all my boxes, gather all the parts, clean everything, prep saw everything, tack rag everything. And then we're going to take in every piece, we're going to seal the entire car. Like everything that gets paint is going to be sealed in the white sealer. And then we're waiting a week. Next thing is cleaning, prep saw, tack ragging, and then we're 800 sanding all of that white sealer that we've got.
Sealer. Select Seal, it's a Nissan product.
It's Nissan as well.
And you need that, which we learned, because you want to start out putting color of any type over something that doesn't have splotchy primer, because the color underneath.
We've painted cars before that it was all variegated, and it turns out okay.
But it's according to what you're putting on, and lighter colors might show through darker primer underneath in areas.
Or translucent colors.
So you want to start out with something all the same color, which that's what that sealer is.
This is R4 red, which is an opaque red, like Charger red it's called, Toro red it's called. It's kind of an orangey lighter red than the R6, which that guy at
Yeah.
Hebron, Ohio,
That's a
the
deeper
Nationals,
red, I think.
was a deep red. But so
seal
everything's sealed. We cleaned. We 800 sanded everything. We blow it all. We tack it all. We clean it with Prepsol. Then we're gonna take. I've got 2.5 gallons of red over there at the paint area. We're mixing all the reds together. So I've got probably a 3-year-old paint and then a 1.5-year-old paint from when I did all of the insides of the quarters and the insides of the fenders, but the insides of the fenders are terrible again with all the overspray.
Well, we learned that if you buy 2 different gallons of paint at 2 different times, even if you buy them at the same time, sure, it's a computer doing it. Maybe not so much now, the computers are better, but you want to mix all those together so you don't have a slightly different shade because they didn't mix it exactly right. So that way it's all together. Then we'll divide it back out into gallons.
Yep. So mixing all the reds together, and then we're spraying all the inside a few coats, and then spray everything out here. We'll have parts everywhere in this garage.
Bottom of the hood, the firewall, all underneath the car. It's on a rotisserie.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's something.
And you'll flip up. Everything
not
will be
everything red 3 coats, but the bottoms, the backs of the doors. We're leaving the outside candy shell of this whole car for the very last step. But anything underside, engine compartment, inside the trunk,
up under the dash, everything in there gets a good coat of paint.
All that. Hinges too I put because we had a different plan for those, but hinges as well. So all the miscellaneous little pieces, parts need to be sprayed at that time.
Sprayed and then clear coated.
And cleared that whole. That's a big day of spraying a lot of red and a lot of clear.
It'll take all day to do all that.
And then I've got waiting a week here. The next week, back tape the engine compartment and mount the hood.
And that's why we wait, is for that to cure out so you don't have tape lifting any of that fresh paint off.
It probably
should be wouldn't.
Clean and all that.
And if we had a paint booth that we could put a 140 degree on it,
that'd be nice.
And if you've got that, you won't have to wait a time. But
this is garage paint job instructions to get the best results. You were about to say something.
Yeah, the best results that you can with the surroundings and the I don't know,
temperatures and bugs and climate that you've got in your area.
That's right.
Garage paint job 101 here. So we've back taped the whole engine compartment. We've mounted the hood. We masked the entire bottom of the car. So all that is red and clear. It's covered. It's nice.
Won't get any overspray, from the new red on the outside and clear.
Yeah. Mount the trunk and then back tape it. We've got some foam backing tape. I've got probably 10,000 feet of it. For all the seams, all the door gaps, all of that, we've got the right stuff to use for it. Tape the side marker lights, the back window, tape that up. Mount the doors and back tape along the seam there. Mask the front windshield, mask the side windows, mask the tail lights. So basically everything is ready there. Then we
get into the trickier parts.
Yeah, mixing up the white with the pearl and activator and getting that stuff ready to spray.
Because he's going to do the bumblebee stripe and the hood treatment. He's putting pearl in his white paint to give it a little
something different.
Yeah,
it may turn out to be just white because the pearl blends in with the white paint and doesn't give the luster. It might be super pearl, which either way it turns out, I don't care. I'm not doing spray outs because I have a limited amount of the pearl to use, but however it turns out, dumping all the pearl into the white, that's how it'll turn out. Then we are spraying the trunk hole area, the hood hole area around the scallops, the cowl, and then the back marker lights, backside marker lights. Those will be in the stripes, so those surrounds need to be white as well. And then once all that's sprayed, the whole general area outside of the area, we'll wait another week. The next week, I'll have figured out the Cricut RT, and I'm going to put a 440 call out in the scallop area. Figure out the stickers, or the actual mask stickers. Laying out the stripes, pull the hood, the fenders, and the trunk after the stripes are already laid on them. And then put my RT and 440 stickers, masks over that, and then tape all that up. The next day, because that'll probably take a long time, the next day, blow out, clean, tack again, mix a gallon of red, spray the red, basically
The whole shell.
the whole shell.
And over the back taped areas for the stripe, because when you're done, you peel it off. The white that you sprayed the big area is your stripe now.
Yep.
That was under the tape.
So we think, since you're basically ready to spray clear after 45 minutes, which is what the lady at the paint store said, you're ready within 45 minutes for the clear. So we put spraying all the red all around and then pull that mask off after 45 minutes. So we're removing all the stripe tapes. So after that,
We're going to wait a week again.
waiting a week for all of that red to cure, all of the stripe edges and RT logo and whatever 440 logo we come up with, all that'll be ready after a week, which the first thing again is blowing everything out, prep sawing everything, and then we're gonna 1,000 grit or 1,200 grit with an
Color
intermediate
sand
pad, color sanding everything. She said if you wait more than that 45 minutes or so with the color, you have to color sand it if you're going to put clear over the top.
And mainly we want where the stripes and the logos are, there's going to be a little ridge because the tape, it drops
tape
off.
edge, yep.
So that might smooth those out. So when the clear goes over, hopefully you won't hardly feel the stripes and stuff underneath.
That
the clear.
is my whole intent, is I didn't want a vinyl graphic on the
Right.
back, and you can't buy the V21 hood treatment option for this car.
Right.
So if I'm painting the front stripes on it, I might as well paint the back, and then everything's clear, everything's slick, hopefully.
And I know a lot of guys, you get in the catalog here, Classic Industries and whatever, buy the stripe and
Yeah.
they show it on the graveyard cars. They just put the stripe in the spray and they're done. But you've got the edge, you can tell it's a vinyl graphic, where this is a little bit more, I don't know, custom.
Yeah,
to
this
paint it.
is my forever car.
Yeah.
So I want it to be something I'm really proud of, something that is super slick, and maybe as you're looking down the reflection of the car, you don't see a matte white vinyl stripe on the back of a super clear car. You won't even be able to tell there's a stripe on it, I think.
Maybe.
With the reflection of some stuff. So
Yeah, we'll see.
in any event, after we color sand it, get all those edges of all the graphics, like we said, 1,200 probably is what I'm thinking. 1,000 is what I
Yeah, we
wrote,
got
but
1,000,
1,200 depending
2,000.
on how much it's cutting it.
Yep.
Blow it all out,
Clean.
prep, clean, tack, all that, rinse, repeat. Mix it in a clear batch, spray the entire car. So probably 3 or 4 coats of clear around it. I know the specs say 3 coats for the Nissan, but add your reducer to your clear. We'll probably have to adjust that, add a little more reducer or less, depending on if it's really wanting to run quickly or if
According to
it's
temperature.
really laying out nice.
And we've got low
It's
temp.
storming outside.
Yeah, it's starting to thunder. Mid temp and high temp. So we'll have to just mix according to what the weather is that day.
Yeah,
And
so
of course, a paint booth, you can control all that.
we don't have that.
And we don't have that.
That's why you're watching.
Yeah.
The last step in that, after the clear, we sprayed the entire car. I put keep the air flowing, so we'll probably have his AC here just with a fan on. I don't care if it gets really warm in here,
Yeah, it doesn't
but
matter if it gets hot.
I heard Will say from Graveyard Cars that some solvent pop can happen, and he keeps air flowing over the car, so any chemical reaction or any chemicals that are released as it's outgassing, it's not just going up and settling on the car, changing the paint or causing any splotchiness or causing whatever that solvent
Orange
pop
peel,
does.
whatever it does, yeah.
So we'll keep air flowing over the car, so it's not going to have any of that stuff, whatever that stuff is. And then I've got wait a day, and we pull all the tape off the car. After all the tape is all pulled off and we've stared at it for a week.
Ooh and odd and
That's right. We'll cut and buff the car. Hopefully the engine compartment is super clear. When we did the green car here behind me, I don't think we put enough reducer, and it was a lot of work that you did mostly by yourself.
Yeah, we had to
of just
orange
really
peel in that clear.
A lot of orange peel, and I'd like to spray it and have it turn out really clear.
Yeah, to where all you really need to do is buff it, not so much cutting. But what we might do is, and I think we
laminated.
No. I think we should type all this out.
Yeah.
And then maybe before the video.
I may put it up in the comments that's all in a list of everything that we just went over here. You kind of got the behind the scenes of the thought process behind each of these steps, but I will type this out, and this will be in the YouTube before the comments, the description for the video.
And if you don't agree with this, then...
And if we miss something, this is after him and I with our experience.
Yep.
There's other guys, like I said, that whole keeping air flowing, that's just something that I heard Will from Graveyard Cars say, that it's like, that makes sense. I know we had my 70 Cougar had all that chemical reaction happen.
It just bubbled up.
It was a beautiful paint job. We put clear, and it was just like, I don't know if we put the wrong clear. But those are the things that's why I'm using all the same brand this, same brand that.
And there are other things too that we'll probably do that we don't have written here. Like I've always heard, you wet the floor, paint boost, it's all wet to keep any dust from kicking up, which we'll do that. And people put a chain over to ground it to make the paint want to stick more. I don't know if all that stuff works. But
it's an old wives' tale that we've done every single time, and we end up with some pretty good paint jobs. So
yeah, the Challenger really turned out nice. Even though we had a lot of orange peel on it, there was a lot of clear, and it just took days and days of cutting.
Yeah, I'd like to not do that because I don't like sanding clear. So
anyway, this is our guide that we're going to go by. And hopefully it works out perfect.
In the comments, if you've got something else, another trick, I've heard you don't use fisheye reducer anymore. I've got a gallon of that sitting over there that I don't think we'll use it at all because they say you don't use it with today's paints. But if there's something that we missed, we're not perfect. This is our idea. We're pretty thorough, pretty in-depth. We've probably talked for 15 minutes about this.
Yeah, and we always have gloves. Once it gets to a point with primer, because we know you put a fingerprint on it and paint, and we're always watching. Somebody comes in,
grease balls here.
They want to touch it, and it's like, get your hands off the car.
Ooh, I got him.
Oh, good.
I got him. I don't know what he was. He wasn't a mosquito. He was mean.
He's a mean guy. But
comment in the comments. Point us in the right direction. I want this to be as nice a car as there is that I've ever done, and we've done some really good cars so far.
We've done quite a few here, and having the rotisserie, I know that's one thing that changed everything about how I've always painted a car. Is, oh my gosh, you just spin it around and you paint underneath everywhere, and it's just so
the whole bottom
effortless.
Of that car's green. Whole bottom of your Mustang.
My Mustang, it's all green. You could eat off the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And I know to be the perfect factory, it should be black under there, the red oxide on Fords, but
I'm not doing that.
We're not doing. I mean, these are our cars to keep.
And with Dodge, they go red, but they do the undercoating. I'm going to have all the undercoating on the inside of it, so it'll be hopefully really nice.
Which you'll be doing more videos as you're putting this car together.
Yeah, this isn't like the car will be painted and you won't see it. I'm sure I'll record all of that process of each of these steps. Because I've recorded the whole restoration of this whole car.
We'll be filming all the painting, and I'm sure. But we won't probably have the camera in here so much actually spraying.
I made a little paint-proof box that should time-lapse everything, so we'll see.
Okay, good.
But, if you can comment, subscribe if you want to see us continue to do this. The reason why the car isn't painted is because of those custom stripes and because of putting a graphic, putting the RT, making all of that with the Cricut is all stuff I had to get my mind wrapped around it. And after thousands of hours watching car shows and how good painters do things, I think this is a good guide. But hey,
I don't know how the Foose, he'll tape off stuff and be 3 and 4 layers, and it's beautiful when he's done. I can't wrap my mind on how
I've
he's
got
talented enough.
My
to
brain
do all
is
that.
confused on doing
I know.
two different colors.
Two colors. So kudos to anybody that can do that
Yeah.
successfully.
My mind is
amazing.
at its the nth degree. I've put too much thought into it, and I'm only doing two colors. So hats off to the guys that can really do some custom work and airbrush and
Oh yeah.
like the guys on Counting Cars. Those airbrush guys, they're just nuts. So this is the max that I can do, and if you can point me in the right direction with some comments and think of something we haven't thought of, it's going to be in the next month or so. We'll start painting, so there's time that people can comment and tell us what we need to do. So with that, wish us luck.
All right.
Hopefully you'll follow and see us get all of these things accomplished and do it well with 0 bugs and no orange peel and no fish eyes and no we knocked the ladder into the car. We've done all of those things.
I think so.
Let's not do any of those.
And we peeled the tape too soon, and the tape folded over on it. That wasn't our car, though. He was too zealous.
Let's not do that either. Anyway, thanks for watching Clark's Place, and wish us luck, like we said, and comment and point us in the right direction, and hopefully this will turn out to be something spectacular.
All right. All right. So, any final words?
Go Mopo.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.